Are we closer to Orwell's 1984 or Huxley's Brave New World? Find out as we compare these two dystopian books. Imagine living in a world where your every move is watched, where your thoughts are controlled, and your reality is shaped by those in power. Compare that to a world where pleasure, convenience, and distraction rule supreme. Welcome, everyone, to a critical comparison between George Orwell's 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Are we closer to one of these dystopian nightmares than we'd like to admit? What if I told you there is a society where surveillance is not just about cameras and telescreens, but something even more insidious? Stay tuned to discover how surveillance has evolved in ways that Orwell and Huxley couldn't have imagined. Let's start with 1984, written by George Orwell in 1949. In this chilling dystopia, the year 1984 brings us into the grim world of Oceania, a totalitarian society where Big Brother rules with an iron fist. Winston Smith, our protagonist, lives under constant surveillance and propaganda. The party's slogans like war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, manipulate reality and language. Winston works at the Ministry of Truth, where he alters historical records to fit the party's ever-changing narrative. His secret rebellion and love affair with Julia lead them into the arms of the Brotherhood, an underground resistance group. But as the thought police close in, Winston's resistance crumbles, and the story ends with his submission to Big Brother, a haunting reminder of the consequences of totalitarian control. How many fingers, Winston? Now, let's shift gears to Brave New World, penned by Aldous Huxley in 1932. Here, we enter a world where technological advancement and government control create a superficial and controlled society. People are born in hatcheries and conditioned from birth to predetermined roles. The world state maintains stability through suppression of individuality, of emotions, and the use of a drug called soma for instant gratification. In Huxley's work, soma, the drug, destroys the soul, making the user soulless. Our characters, Bernard Marx and Lenina Crown, venture into a savage reservation outside the world state, where they meet John the Savage, who cannot adopt to the way things operate in the world state. Pleasure of every kind is the goal of this society. Where Karl Marx said religion is the opiate of the masses, Huxley turned that on its head, making opiates the religion of the masses. Mustafa Mann, the most powerful and intelligent proponent of the world state, states that soma is Christianity without tears. According to him, the drug allows someone to feel the joy of religion without the suffering that must come before. John's struggle to adapt to the broken and messed up world of soma highlights the consequences of sacrificing individuality for societal stability, leading to a tragic conclusion. Now let's explore some of the most quoted remarks from these two classics. In 1984, phrases like Big Brother is watching you and war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength reflect the party's manipulation of truth and control. In Brave New World, community, identity, stability serves as the world state's motto, emphasizing conformity and societal control. John's plea, but I don't want comfort, I want God, I want poetry, I want real danger, I want freedom, I want goodness, I want sin, highlights the longing for authenticity in a superficial world. In the end, the question remains, are we living in a world more akin to Orwell's 1984 with surveillance and thought control, or Huxley's Brave New World with pleasure, convenience, and dictating our choices? Perhaps it's a bit of both. As technology shapes our lives, and speech codes replace moral codes, the balance between virtual and physical experiences becomes crucial. Both 1984 and Brave New World made eerily accurate predictions about certain aspects of the world we live in today. While the two books have distinct differences in their portrayal of dystopian societies, they also share similarities in their predictions for the future. Here are some similarities. Totalitarian control. Both novels predict oppressive governments that exercise near total control over their respective populations. In 1984, the party, led by Big Brother, uses surveillance, thought control, and propaganda to maintain power. In Brave New World, the world state exercises control through conditioning drugs. and genetic engineering. Can you see any similarities in our world today? Let us know in the comments below. Both books explore the theme of the loss of individuality. In 1984, the government suppresses individual thought and independent thinking through thought crime laws and constant surveillance. In Brave New World, individuals are conditioned from birth to conform to social norms and value sacrificing their individuality for stability and happiness. Propaganda and manipulation.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media unfortunately, some media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Both novels emphasize the role of propaganda and manipulation to control the masses. 1984 introduces the concept of newspeak, a language designed to limit free thought, while Brave New World uses soma, a drug that induces feelings of happiness and contentment to pacify and control the populace. What are some examples of newspeak and pharmaceutical prescribed control that you think we're experiencing in our society? Surveillance. Surveillance is a prevalent theme in both books. 1984 features telescreens that monitor citizens' every move, while Brave New World has surveillance cameras and the conditioning process to keep an eye on citizens. The level of surveillance that has been imposed upon us is far worse than what either 1984 or Brave New World could have predicted. You possess in your pocket something far more powerful and knowledgeable about the things you do, the things you say, even what you think: our smartphones. Here are the differences between 1984 and Brave New World. The means of control. While both novels depict totalitarianism, they differ in how control is achieved. 1984 relies on fear, on punishment, and brutal force, while Brave New World uses pleasure, distractions, and conditioning to keep the population docile. Essentially, fear is the tool used to control society in 1984, whereas pleasure is the tool used in Brave New World. In 1984, pleasure is suppressed and the society is characterized by austerity and suffering. In contrast, Brave New World embraces pleasure as a means of control, with citizens constantly seeking gratification and avoiding discomfort. Social hierarchies. Brave New World establishes a rigid caste system where individuals are genetically engineered and conditioned to fit into specific roles, while 1984 features a more class-based society where the party's members enjoy privileges denied to the proles. To the uninitiated, the proles are the lower class of Oceania that make up 85% of the population. Technology. 1984 depicts a more primitive and surveillance-heavy society, whereas Brave New World envisions a world where advanced technology, genetic engineering, and drugs shape the society. How do these dystopian classics reflect our ever-evolving relationship with technology, from the primitive to the advanced? Could the very devices you're using right now be part of the Brave New World Orwell and Huxley warned us about? In today's world, elements of both novels can be seen: surveillance technology, government control, propaganda, and the loss of privacy in the digital age all echo themes from 1984. Meanwhile, the pursuit of pleasure, the prevalence of consumerism, and the potential consequences of advancing technology are reminiscent of Brave New World. These novels continue to serve as cautionary tales and thought-provoking explorations of the potential dark sides of human society and government control. Did you know Aldous Huxley and George Orwell knew each other? If you know their relationship, write it in the comments to help others out. Truly fascinating. Let's remember that these dystopian visions serve as cautionary tales, urging us to protect our individuality, our freedom, and truth in an ever-evolving world. Thank you for joining us on this critical exploration of 1984 and Brave New World. Which dystopia do you think we're closer to? Let us know in the comments below, and remember, the future is what we make of it. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Stay curious, stay aware, and until next time, this is Dr. Jack Mumford signing off.